what they do, what it is. This is Orion, aka Brass Balls. This is the first episode that I'm gonna do of this. You know, I don't even got a name for this yet. This is how fresh off the stove this is right here, what I got cooking for y'all. I got a guest with me. He's an artist. We're gonna talk about his art. Right behind me is what he did for me at my cribbo right now. It's a shutter art, you know what I mean? We changing the game right now. This is hurricane prep art over here, you know? A while ago with my crib, I had these shutters up. I had this one specifically because I had a leak in this window. And I'm like, yeah, man, these shutters is ugly as hell. And I'm like, what can I do with this, you know? And I was like, yo, I know a lot of very talented painters, artists, graph artists, you know, muralists. And I'm like, why not bring them to my crib, invite them over, and see if they would be willing to touch up these nasty shutters and actually make me look forward to whenever a hurricane's coming. I'll be like, yo, that time I could bring out that painting that I love, that so-and-so did for me. So let me quit talking and introduce the brother right next to me. He goes by Vic the Viper. Homie, thank you so much for being the first guest and for blessing me with this one, bro.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. Appreciate it.
My dude, I've known you for a minute, so I know a lot about you. But rather than me go on and everything, why don't you give the people out there that's watching this right now a little background on you, art, all that, anything you want to tap into about your origins in this thing.
Sure. My name's Victor Geraldo, but I go by Vic the Viper. I've been doing art my whole life, pretty much since a little kid. From drawing to painting, I dabbled with it growing up. I was always the kid that was drawing on people's folders and notebooks in school, and also, you know, doing fake tattoos on myself, on other people. I was always that kid that was doing it. And I went from high school to college to New World School of the Arts, but I went for graphic design. I didn't go for the fine arts. I thought I knew everything, and I just decided, hey, graphic design sounds like something I'll make some money in. And it was a lot different than I thought. It was a lot harder. I learned a lot. I graduated, but what I actually do is more of what you see right here. So I'm very much a hands-on artist. Right now, these days, I'm more of a muralist. And I also do other commissioned paintings, you know, fine art paintings. But my heart is really in the murals, and my style, if I had to say it, is more of a portrait artist style. A little bit of realism, but I also gain a lot of inspiration from graffiti. I'm a child of hip hop, you know, so you see me, you know me from the scene. I'm a b-boy, I paint, my brother's an MCs in your crew Spaz, my other brother's a DJ, Velvet Jones, so I'm very much in that world, and graffiti has always inspired me. And learning about it from a young age, looking at my brother's Source magazines from back in the day, that like changed my life. And then I went to New York when I was like 13, and then I saw graffiti like that I've never seen before. I know we've had it in Miami for a long time, but I wasn't exposed to it. I'm from Hialeah, and I never made it to any pennants. I never got to see any track sides. I just grew up, you know, on the street playing with my friends. But the graph really came to me through the music, through the magazines, and through the culture. And once I learned about it, my uncle, who's from New York, is an old school writer. He would send me magazines, you know, he would poster stickers, all types of stuff, kind of like feeding me. And then as I got older, I was able to pick up some cats. Catalyst is where it kind of really started. So Catalyst Hip Hop was in Pembroke Pines, and I went just to break, but I didn't realize you could paint. You know, this was all a dream to me. They moved to Miami Springs, which is not far from where I live, and that became a home for me and a family. So that's where I started to really see people doing the things that I love, but I only saw people doing it in magazines. In school, there was maybe one or two kids that ever, you know, was breaking, but it was mostly me. So if it was a cipher, I was in it. And if anyone was doing like graph, I'm not a writer, but I definitely am inspired by the style. You know, I'll tag, I'll do stuff, but I give a lot of respect to the real guys that are out there hitting the streets, hitting the trains, hitting hitting everything, putting their life on the line, their freedom on the line. So I don't call myself a writer, but I do paint. And Catalyst is really where I got to see these guys up close and became friends with a lot of people. They gave me a lot of advice. Even to this day, I have a lot of friends that, we share ideas, breakers, MCs. This community is so amazing. And and that's why I'm here today, because, you invited me to do this. And it could have been any other reason. It didn't matter. Like, I have such respect for you, because you're from my hometown, right?
Hialeah.
Not only that, you're one of my favorite MCs, whether or not Hialeah or not. And that was before I even knew that you knew my brother. Like, I had one of your old record albums, and I would drive I had an old van covered in graffiti, and I would drive listening to that thing over and over.
That's what's up.
And then when I saw you, my brother, and a crew, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, my two favorite MCs right now. And like, bro, it was amazing. So yeah, man, that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. And my goal right now is just to continue to paint. And at this point, I want to share more. So giving back, I have a lot of respect for you. So this is just like, you know what, let me go do this. I know you're doing your thing. You inspire me. So I said, let me come and do something. And I wanted to honor you with a portrait. Like, that's what I do. And I think that's a great thing, to honor people while they're still here. I do so many portraits of people that have passed. This feels good, to do something for someone that I look up to, and that is doing, working really hard. And that's what I want to do in my craft. So that's what we did here.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yo, number one, when you were coming, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't tell them, like, yo, you got to do a mural of me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what you were going to do.
Nope,
and then you told me I'm going to do a character. I was like, all right, word. So I didn't know what to imagine. I've seen a lot of your work, and I've seen you do everything from, like, Transformers to, like, anime characters to portraits of cats. I think you did one for 1,000 that was fucking fire.
That was back in the day.
And you did one for John Wilson. And one of the reasons, aside from the fact that like, I got so much respect for what you do, is the one you did for John Wilson was special, obviously, because our homie passed, so rest in peace to the brother. But the night that you did it, you what was that? Is that cellophane? What would you call that?
Saran
wrap, I guess.
I call it saran wrap, I think it's cellophane.
But you hooked up saran wrap on scaffolding. And I was just like, man, I've never seen somebody do that. And you knocked it out so dope that I was just like, man, I gotta, like, when I came up with this idea, I was just like, I gotta holler at Vic. You know what I mean? I gotta holler at Vic.
I appreciate that.
So, man, thank you so much, because I love how this looks, man. This is so dope, and like, yo, I'm not taking it down. I'm not taking it down. You know what I mean?
If the missus doesn't want it, you can paint over it, but... This is what I saw in my mind when you said to do something. I thought of you, just your energy, and I don't know. I was like, that's what it had to be. So
that's what's up.
And with the John Wilson piece, so I've seen other artists do that in the past. I went on a camping trip, and my goal is to paint everywhere, in every state, every country, wherever I can go. I went on a camping trip, and I went hiking with that in my book bag. And my first time, I did it around some trees, painted, boom, did that. So when John Wilson passed, and all my friends, like, it's always hard, but now that I do this, it just comes to me. It's like just some says do it. And every time I do it, I feel like a connection. I feel them with, I swear, I really feel like they're with me. The people that have passed. And that night, we were doing a meetup. I think I don't know who put it together, but across the street.
I think it was the Buena Vinyl Social Club.
Yeah.
I think they had done.
Yeah. So we were in there. I knew I was going to do it. I pulled up with my stuff. I went in there, Chuck, in his memory. I thought this was a good place and time to do it. I just decided to wrap it. I remember, I didn't know it was gonna be there, but I know that he used to do like theater. and across the street was a theater. I forgot what it's called. It's
The
in
Olympia.
downtown. Okay, thank you.
The Olympia.
So when I saw I was looking for somewhere to do it, and it was right across the street in front of the building that he performed in. And I said, that's it. And while everybody's inside, I just wrapped it up. I started painting, and then by I don't remember how long before, but there's a point where I turned around, and the whole street,
It's packed. Yeah.
that was crazy. So the whole street was everybody just standing there with tears in their eyes, and that's when I felt like the weight of how important. Like, I didn't think it was important. I was just showing love the same way I do for all my people that passed away or for someone else. So when I saw that, I said, "Oh man!" Like I had to. It threw me off for a second. And I thought, you know what? I gotta. These people really, they need this right now, and I'm doing it. So just keep going. I pray, and I'm talking to John. I'm talking to God at the same time, and just letting it work. And it was a beautiful moment, and that's just like, I don't know. It's just part of, like, what do they say? Great power comes great responsibility. I'm not saying it's a great power, but that's my thing. Like if that's my ability, if I can give it back some way, and if that's the way, then that's what it is. And I'm glad it happened. A lot of people were moved by it.
Right.
And look, thanks for bringing that up. That's crazy.
I mean, I can see how that can go down as like one of your fondest memories while painting. What would you say though is, because you've done a lot of work.
Yeah.
What would you say would be your top 3 favorite personal pieces that you've done? Whether on canvas or on walls or whatever.
Man, I've done a portrait of my brother. And this was during, I think, pandemic time. It was a portrait of him, my nephew. Man, like portraits of my loved ones. Another one of my younger brother when he was moving to New York.
You got one of your mom.
Yeah, I got one of my mom that I haven't
pretty
finished.
Incredible.
I gotta
That's
finish
not finished?
Nah,
it looked done to me.
I know.
That thing's pretty
so
incredible.
I'm gonna go in on it now. I've just been kind of like paralyzed because of how much I want it to look, amazing. And it looks good, but I know what it's gonna be. That one's gonna be up there too. And then I want that to be a mural. So I'm working on turning canvases into murals. So anything I paint, like that's a mural. Like this could be a gigantic mural somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So those 3, I guess, the top 3 or 3 of my loved ones, portraits that I've done of them. And there's so many more. And I will say that I do a lot of personal work, but I also assist a lot of people, and that's just something that puts food on the table. But I also get to meet a lot of people. I've grown in my craft by being like helpful, by serving, and that's something that's kind of hard for people to do, is to kind of be the grunt. But I don't know if you know my dad, military guy, law enforcement, martial artist.
Yeah, I got my weapons permit through your dad.
There you go. And that
shout
domino
out
table.
And the domino table.
Right?
When he was making domino tables.
Yes. So growing up with him, we started working on the house, and he showed us how to work, me and my brothers. He put us to work on the weekends, like long days, and it's nothing compared to what he went through, But that's where I learned how to really work with my hands and how to help out. You had to be ready, and if you weren't, I was gonna hear it. So I didn't want to hear it. And because I have that still, now when I go to work with other artists, I'm paying attention. I show up on time. I'm very helpful. Nothing's beneath me. I'll do.
Right.
And that's how I even got into this, because a lot of my friends, I just would show up and stare at them while they paint, and like if a can drop, I'll run and grab it and give it to them. I just wanted it to be there. I don't care if I didn't have to paint. Until eventually you're there long enough, someone put a can in my hand and said, yo, do it like this. Now, so if you want to do this, if you want to do anything, like, you make the effort to do everything, to be around it, to be obsessed with it, and you're not too good to do certain things. Obviously nothing that's
right. Humble yourself and be an apprentice. You know what I mean? It's basically what you're saying.
Right.
How did you get the name Vic the Viper? What made you land on that name as an artist?
Okay. before I touch that, I just want to say how you were saying that I did this fast, you know, in good time. I'm known for being slow coming up, and I had to go through being slow, and everybody that I was helping out, come on, you know, you pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. So I just want to say that for like anyone out there that's kind of struggling with speed and working, you know, you can get it, and you're just gonna have to put that pressure on yourself, not bad pressure, but you know, put in that work and you can get it. Because say a couple years ago, this would have taken me a lot more time than it took me today. You know, I know. So I want to say that. Vic the Viper. So b-boying is the scene that I really got into. I was always an artist, you know, but I really got into b-boying through Catalyst. And when it came to battles, I needed a name. And when I was a kid, my dad had a Taekwondo academy, and we had a team fighting, and I was on the team, and so was my brother. And I had a nickname. My nickname was VIPER. VIPER because of the style. I guess, on our tryouts, I did something that was kind of like snake-like, the way I was moving around the room. They called me VIPER. So that was my nickname. That was the only nickname I ever really had besides my old tags when I was a kid. So when it came to battling, I needed a name, and the only name I had was VIPER, and because to me it's combat. So the same way as fighting martial arts, that's how I approach breaking, battling. If I'm battling, we're not friends, you know, we are doing this, you know, this is a battle. And that's something I picked up here in Miami. And that was the name I went with, so I said VIPER. And then Instagram, I don't know what, Instagram came. I was breaking and battling before Instagram. I didn't have Instagram. And I needed a name. I was like, it was something else before. And then I was like, all right, Vic the Viper. Because VIPER is what I go by when I'm battling. Vic the Viper. And it's just a name that stuck because it's a handle I've had for so long, and people know people by their Instagram handles, unfortunately. Right. Like we're in that social media age. So I've had it long enough that people recognize me as that. And when I've painted with writers, you know, I'll paint with writers. And a couple of times people said, man, I have never heard Vic the Viper. Like there's Vipers. And that's another reason why I keep the Vic the Viper. It's super long, so if I'm tagging or something, it's not even a good tag.
It's not a good name. It's not meant for bombing.
I hear it all the time, but it's more of an artist name. But I'll still go tag it. I'm still finding out ways how I can throw this up, and that's just a name that stuck. And in order for me to not be another Viper, because who knows how many Vipers are? I know there's another Viper in Miami somewhere. Right. And I'm not trying to knock anyone else. Like, I'm Vic the Viper, and that's what people know me as. And that's, you know, maybe once I do a gallery show or something, I'm Victor Geraldo, aka Vic the Viper. But that's how I got it. So through battling, through martial arts, and social media, it just stuck, and everyone knows it. They seem to like it. I like it. So,
who would you say was the first artist that kind of took you under their wing or gave you a lot of advice, and you feel like you grew as an artist? Because I got that same thing with the MCing. Like, I have those artists that were MCs that I learned a lot from and kind of grew through their mentorship, whether they knew it or not. You know, they were mentoring me. Who would you say were some of those artists for you? I know sometimes it could be more than one, you know?
Yeah, it'll start with my friend Audit. He goes by Audit. Him, some other friends in college. You know, that's really where it started. It started with these two twins in college. Memo and Desert is the name they went by. Will and George. Then Audit. They all went to Dash together. They ended up working together. They really took the time to paint like this. This is how you hold the can. They showed me how to work a can. Then, you know, Gons also, who was part of their crew, well, Audit and SSK. You know, they let me tag along and watch and taught me stuff. that was back in like 2014, maybe 2015. I've been painting on my own, figuring it out, but these guys really stopped me and like do it like this.
Right.
Then Carlos Solano, C. Solano, he's an artist that he does a lot of murals. He works with the Panthers now, with the Hard Rock. He's come a long way. He's from New York originally. I met him at an art meetup one day. We sketched in each other's book, and then I kept seeing him on Instagram. I'm like, damn, this guy is doing the stuff I want to do. Like, man, it'd be great to meet him. And I'm working different jobs, you know, finishing school. Then I leave a job, go to another job. Then I get another job, and this guy that I'm looking at, I walk in my first day, and he's sitting there. And I said, yo, what's up? He remembered me. And from that day, we would go to lunch every day together, and we would talk. And I was just doing graphic design at the time. And then the pandemic came, and we were all gone. But he saw me that I was painting, and I had stopped at the time also. I started drawing again while we were locked down on paper, and it started going bigger and bigger and bigger. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna take this money and get some cans, and I'm gonna paint. Mm-hmm. And he saw that, and he put me on my first big job, which was on a boom lift, which, bro, it's like a monster. And we did a Florida Panthers wall, a gigantic one in downtown Fort Lauderdale. And that was like a big shift in my career to go like actually full-time. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm doing this. Like,
full-time.
It's crazy. And then because of working with him, I build a reputation. You know, he keeps calling me, and then someone else knows about me, and then I do something with them, and then they call me, and then the name starts going around, and now I'm working with people that I looked up to. I have their numbers. You know, I can call them, I can talk to them, and I do. It's just crazy. So
you mentioned just right now and a little bit before earlier, you mentioned Catalyst Hiphop, and I too started going to Catalyst when they're in Pembroke, and then they moved to Miami Springs, and I was definitely going out there for the MC stuff and everything. Rest in peace to Joel. They recently, well, not recently, just a couple of years back, they moved their facility to Hialeah Gardens.
Yep.
Like, dope ass facility. I love what they got going on now over there.
Yes.
There's a crazy great mural inside. Did you have anything to do with that, or did you assist in that, or?
So the main, once you walk in to the west side, there's a long mural. Oof, it's so beautiful. And that was by Tico, and he goes by Too Loose Detroit. I believe his name is Frank. Both OG Catalyst, you know, children. Basically, they came up in the scene.
I remember seeing Tico do a lot of murals.
He did so much work for them in the old Catalyst. Like, he lived there. And I don't even know him like that, but I know because I was there looking and watching, you know? So they did that first main one, and then David called me up to do a portrait because that's what I do. And I do realism, and I knew Joel, and you know, I love them. So they asked me if I would do the honor of painting a portrait, and I said, of course. So the Joel piece, I did, that's me. Like, I did the whole thing by myself. I might have had my brother come in and play around with some paint and someone come in, but I spent, I don't know how much time I spent, over a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. Maybe 2 weeks by myself, going in there with spray guns. You know, the way we did this, I had to plastic everything, and man,
super prep
yes work. Yes and I never signed it, so that's why when I did this one I had to sign it, because I'm still getting used to that. I think it's so beautiful, and something about me feels kind of, you know.
Why don't you go back and sign it now?
I am going to.
Or do you feel some kind of like,
I'm going to make a video about it. I want to talk to him, like, where can I, it looks so beautiful, and I have to own my greatness. I have to own my thing. You know, so if this is what I'm doing, I can't go halfway. I have to go all the way. So I gotta sign it and say, yeah, I did that. So that Joe one, that was my thing. And I have to actually say, Geo, Classic, he did the hand styles around it. So I didn't do it completely by myself. He came in and did the hand styles, because I needed to get him in there. He's been a long time Catalyst member, b-boy writer. He's an amazing writer, amazing artist. So I said, I gotta get my brother in here with me. So the design was portrait plus hand styles of word, because he would always say word when he was talking or saying something. You hear me? Say word, word. And then we did a little verse, and that was it. So
I've seen you work on. I think you were at working for some basketball team, or was it like some?
that's to another homie, yeah. Lakers for Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And it was his project, but I'm on there. I'm sweating. I'm throwing down paint too, so I have no problem. My motto that I tell people is like, look, I don't have to be the star. My job here is to make you the star. So whoever I'm backing you up, I'm gonna back you up and make you look amazing. And when I do that, you know, I get what I deserve, and you know, they're homies, and oh, they look out, and I don't know. It's worked out.
That's good, man, because there's a lot of artists, I think, this goes for musicians, MCs, rappers, and graph artists, and painters that don't want to take that back seat and don't want to like be the helping hand. They got to be the star.
Yeah.
It's got to be the star in the spotlights.
Yeah.
It's 9, it's showtime. Let me ask you this, man. Going into this is something that I wanted to ask. When do you decide how much is it pre-planned? How much is it just winging it? Because kind of like also like MCing, like I like to go with my bullets, which is my writtens, my verses. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. If I'm at a show and you hand me a mic, I'm ready to spit. I got them verses on lock. So for you, what do you prefer? Do you like sometimes just winging it and kind of like freestyling with it, or do you like, nah, I want to go planned, I want to put my best foot forward? What's your angle of attack? What you like?
So I'm more like you, Carlos. I was talking about Carlos Solano. He gave me some advice. You know, show up with it. You gotta put in that work beforehand. Because when you show up, you try to wing it. I've done that many times, and you know, I can do something good, but it's nothing like when you come prepared.
Right.
And it's a lot more work. That's my take, is to be as prepared as possible. Does it always happen? No, you know that. But even if it's last minute prep, I gotta show up with something. You know, like I gotta be prepared, because it'll, for me at least, my creativity is different from someone else's. There's people that just live in that, are amazing. You know? But for me, I like to have a strategy, have a plan, something like that. And then once it starts, just like in this, there was things in here that I knew I kind of wanted to do, but it wasn't part of the sketch. It was mostly, you know, once I had everything down, I started seeing how the paint, you know, worked. There's things that happen in real time that you can't plan for and that just work. But I don't rely on that, me personally. So for me, it's just, I gotta come correct. Yeah. Because if not, you know, you can tell when someone's really put in time to like come prepared. Same thing at a you know, an MC event or something like that.
Yeah. And you know, with this being shutters and everything, you, like I was asking you, you know, when you were doing it, you know, how is it different painting on like this type of, you know, it bends, it's not a straight wall.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that and what went into your mind frame tackling this?
Well, when you sent me the picture the first time, I already knew it was gonna be a pain. If this was a client or somebody, I would say, you know, that's gonna be a thing, but I never brought it up. Even as I was painting, I never brought it up. But I knew what it is. I painted on this before. I knew it was gonna be an issue. I knew I was limited to what I could do on something like this, like smaller details. But I knew I was gonna do it. I knew I wanted to. I knew I wanted to represent. So it was a challenge, but you figure it out as you go. And as I was painting, I started like, in the beginning, you know, it wasn't working, but then I found the caps that worked. I found the angles that worked. And then I just started having fun with it, and I had to let go of perfection.
Yeah.
I started, but this, I already knew and I wanted to say something, but I was like, just don't even do that. Like, just go for it. It's all good. And it was all good. This was fun. It wasn't even bad. It's good practice. I'm always trying to challenge myself, so this definitely a challenge. And after doing this, I had told you that I'm gonna go back and study like all the people that are painting on trains and on containers, and really look at them like, man, because their things look clean and they're doing the same thing, you know, I'm doing, using spray and caps.
Yeah, and you know, this wasn't like you came like 3 fucking days. You know, you got here at 12:30. We had to prep the wall because if the wall ends up having spray paint everywhere, my wife will kill me. So we had to prep the wall. You didn't start painting till like 12:50. So from like 12:50, you was done. You were done by like I think 3:05, 3:50, something like that. You know what I mean?
You're spot on.
And so, just you know, the professionalism. You were at work, and it's hot as hell out here. So, dog, infinite amount of props to you for accomplishing this.
Thank you.
This shit is dope as hell. Tell everybody where they can find you, all the handles and everything. And then any events you want to plug, anything you want to plug coming up. I don't know when we're going to release this, but I might be releasing like snippets or whatever.
Yeah.
So if there's any event, anything you want to plug, let them know now. And also, well, I'll get to that. Just if you want to plug anything right now and where they can find you and all that.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So if you want to find me, the best way is through Instagram, which is VIC, VIC _ the _ VIPER. So VIC the VIPER, VIC _ the _ VIPER. And that's where you'll find me. Support the Museum of Graffiti, support Catalyst Hip Hop, go to these events, support La Plancha. So whenever the next one is and the one after that, go to that. So those are amazing, by the way. You're doing an amazing job with that. Any breaking events, any you know, I don't want to start shouting out too many names, you know, but you know, anytime 004 has something going on, go to that. Wherever hip hop is and anything positive and good that bring the community together, go to that. So that's all. That's it.
That's what's up. Is there any artist that you want to give a quick shout out to that maybe we haven't talked about, but you just want to shout them out real quick that might be watching?
Whut, I'm wearing his hat right now. It's one of my brothers, Ray Ramirez, Ivan Roque, Audit, Brute, say Carlos Solano, you know, all the homies, Adobo, Chase Melendez, Jing Wei, man, a lot of people out there. But I'll keep it with them for now because I have to go through my booking. I have so many people that I look up to. But those people right there, you know, they look out and are good folks. So
if you're watching this and you're curious about how the homie breakdances, how he b-boys, check out a video from What They Do, Sweet Things They Say. I will put the link in the description box. I'm gonna also put a couple of other things in the description box. Some of the stuff that we've talked about. Definitely a link to your Instagram and all that. Links to Catalyst, because we've talked about it heavy and y'all really got to know about that if you don't know. If you're not in the Miami area and you're watching it, if you ever come to Miami, make sure you check out things like Catalyst, Museum of Hip Hop, Museum of Graffiti, and Wynwood. You know, this is straight for the culture, man. And,
right.
You know, one of the reasons I want to do this, aside from having some dope artwork on my shutters and all that, is because I'm very fond of graffiti. It's one of the first elements I got into even before rapping. And so I wanted to give some shine to that element in hip hop because it's seen often, but the artists themselves are rarely talked to, and you rarely get to hear cats talk about their art, talk about what goes into everything and shit, man. So I appreciate you doing this, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
This is dope as hell, and yeah, man. Peace. Orion, aka Brass Balls. Tap in with me on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, drop a comment, like, share, repost, all that. You know what it is. One love. Peace.